is going to be merging with the cold Arctic air that made its way down from Canada and brought some snow through the Great Lakes and is now over the Ohio Valley. When those two come together, we get this big coastal bomb, or that nor'easter, that's expected to bring these heavy snowfall rates. Again, we are talking about 2 to 3 inches of snow per hour. Wind gusts 50, 60, even 70 miles per hour are not going to be out of the question. Visibility could drop to 0. And it's late afternoon. As we go through the overnight hours, we're going to start to see some of these heavier bands. The heaviest bands are expected really about 9 p.m. all the way through tomorrow morning, and then we'll see it taper off towards Saturday afternoon. But again, don't forget those winds will still be here. That snowdrift could be going over my head even as these bands exit out of the area.
You sound cold now. Indra Petersons, thanks so much. Political Buzz is your rapid-fire look at the best political topics of the day. 3 topics, 30 seconds on the clock. Playing with us today, Democratic strategist Maria Cardona, and CNN contributor, and Alice Stewart, a Republican strategist who was the former spokesperson for Rick Santorum. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you, Carol.
Good morning, Carol. Good to be here.
Good morning. We're glad you're here. Question 1, on the tortured subject of targeted killings, I'd like to direct your attention to former New York City mayor and presidential candidate Rudy Giuliani.
For the life of me, I can't figure out why George Bush got so much heat for waterboarding 3 people, and President Obama has killed scores of people. From the point of view of a terrorist, would you rather be waterboarded or killed?
The Obama administration under fire for using drones to kill American terrorists overseas. Giuliani's point in our question, would it be better to capture terrorists than kill them? Alice?
Absolutely. We've received scores of information from the 3 people that enhanced interrogation techniques were used in the Bush administration. We did receive actionable intelligence that led us to the capture of bin Laden. Panetta even said so. But then the hypocrisy as the Democrats have lambasted that, but then Obama has killed scores of people with these drones. Now, these are fine if they're used for actual surveillance and receiving good information, but they should not be used for just random fishing expeditions.
Maria.
You know, Carol, in an ideal world, of course, it would be better to do that. And that way, I think the justice system would be carried out as we all believe that it should. But at the same time, we're not living in an ideal world, and we're not living and we're not executing a war that is the kind of war that we have executed in years past, where it's country against country. These are terrorists who are living under rocks, in caves, in Mali and in Yemen. And so to the extent that if there is one targeted and we know where he is, and to send a drone in, and we know that person has killed Americans, you know, a lot of Americans believe that that is the way that we should go.
All right, question number 2. For Republicans, it seems like out with the old and in with the new. Fox News parting ways with some of its more partisan contributors, Sarah Palin and Dick Morris, gone, while Karl Rove starts a new super PAC designed to make sure more established candidates make it to the ballot box. In the meantime, RNC Chairman Reince Priebus held a listening session with black leaders here in Atlanta. You see him there in the little chair there? This is part of the group's new outreach to minorities. But Rush Limbaugh still looms large. The Man Time magazine calls the GOP savior Marco Rubio, meeting with the talk show host last week, went on a show to sell his new immigration plan. So the question, can you reinvent yourself and still kowtow to Rush Limbaugh? Maria?
Not if you want to reinvent yourself credibly, Carol. And this is something that Republicans really need to understand. They need to get rid of the idea that Rush Limbaugh is a real political leader. He's an entertainer, and he has even said that himself. And as long as Republicans believe that he's a real political leader, their makeover is going to be just very superficial, and it's not going to work. It's like they've been punked for the last 4 years. I'm expecting Ashton Kutcher to come out and say, GOP, you've been punked. Rush Limbaugh is not a real political leader. If you want a political future, you need to treat him as an entertainer.
Alice.
Well, every candidate, for the most part, will go down at South Florida and kiss the Rush ring. That's just what you do. But the fact of the matter is the party is still the party of limited government, of fiscal responsibility, of individual freedoms, and strong national security. We're going to continue to convey that. And Reince Priebus did the right thing by having a listening session with African Americans. We'll do the same with Latinos. We'll do the same thing with women and young people. We'll listen in and we'll loop them in, because we learned a lot in this last session, in this last election, and we're certainly going to make some positive changes heading into the midterms.
All right, on to question 3. Democrats bring out the big guns today. Bill Clinton, and Stephen Colbert. Both will rally House Democrats at their annual retreat. Hold on, you say, Colbert? Isn't his sister running for Congress in South Carolina?
No free airtime, Lulu. As a broadcast journalist, I am obligated to maintain pure objectivity. It doesn't matter that my sister is intelligent, hardworking, compassionate, and dedicated to the people of South Carolina. I will not be mentioning any of that on my show.
Okay, but back to the retreat. Stephen Colbert rallying the Democrats. He'll even take questions from Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi. So the question, what advice will Colbert, a comedian mind you, give Democrats? Alice?
Well, I'm a big Colbert fan, but I'm afraid even a Colbert bump's not going to help his sister in that district. It's certainly going to go to a Republican. I would imagine as a comedian, he'll probably look at the group and encourage them. Understand there was a bipartisan reach out by former Governor Sanford on an excursion to hike the Appalachian Trail. I would imagine he'd encourage some of the Democrats, including Bill Clinton, to bypass on that.
Maria?
Well, if he goes in character, Carol, then he will beg the Democrats to change their party name to Republican in order to confuse voters. But if he's serious about giving them advice, then he would just say, look, Democrats, don't do anything, don't say anything. The Republicans are doing a great job of sinking themselves.
Oh, ouch. And on that note, we end our political buzz segment. Maria Cardona, Alice Stewart, thanks so much for playing today.
Thank you so much, Carol.
Have a great weekend.
You too. The Mount Washington Observatory in New Hampshire already is known as home to the world's worst weather. Now a monster blizzard is bearing down. We'll take you there to see conditions there.
I hate Mondays.
Yeah, they're the worst.
No worries, man. Everything will be alright.
Yeah, man.
Don't fret me, brother. Sticky bun comes soon. Yeah. Wicked coffee, Mr. Jim. Julia, turn the frown the other way around.
Hey, Dave, you're from Minnesota, right?
Yes, the land of 10,000 lakes. The Gopher State.
So in conclusion, things are pretty dismal.
You know what this room needs? A smile. Who wanna come with I?
Traveling along, there's a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy.
You guys are 3 minutes late.
Don't be no cloud on a sunny day.
Yeah, chill, Winston.
Sir?
Respect, boss man.